Welcome everybody. Dylan Rose here, part of D Rose Productions. We're doing our post-race weekly update covering the ESK Motorsports driver Hunter Rose. So go ahead, Hunter, give us a little background about yourself. What made you go racing? Why you like the race, or what's the purpose of it?
I've been around it my whole life. I mean, pretty much we both been around our whole life. Where your dad raced, and we went growing up as kids, and you got fiddling a go-kart a little bit. I got a little bit of it, not much, and just kind of dwindled out. Money got tight. That was one of the things with the go-karts back then. If you didn't show up with 50,000 sets of tires, you wasn't in the ballpark. So we decided to go a different route and kept on going to races, watching everything. Got my foot in the door back in 2016-ish when Ace opened back up with the Turners to flag there. I'd also, before then, been flagging in Orange County some. And so I got my foot back in the door there to work at the track. So done that for a little bit, and then also back in 2017-ish, we got I got together with Thomas Scott and got to work with him and everything, and help him and go crew with him, and just one opportunity led to another, right place at the right time, and we worked out a deal where I could start racing last year and carried on into this year, and I'm gonna see where it can take us.
Nice. I know you said you raced a little bit last year. How many races did you run last year?
We just hit the Rodney Cook race. That was between everything we had going on, Thomas's racing stuff and mine trying to get me in. It was kind of a perfect scenario to hit that one at the end of the year, and it kind of sucked because it was at the end of the year because we couldn't do no more after that, but it was something good to do and give us the winter to look forward to and build on for this year.
Nice. Do you have any intentions of running late models or any other tracks this year, or are you just trying to perfect one track like Ace and just one division?
I mean, Ace is home. I mean, I would love to go somewhere else and run other places and whatnot, and maybe in the future, but for this year we're looking just running the limited schedule at Ace, and it's been talks about maybe one day starting a late model race here or there, but for sure this year just wanting to do the limited deal at Ace, and maybe next year we'll venture out and spread our wings and see what we can do at other tracks.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. No, that's right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the 2022 race season. I know we got our first race we're going to cover tonight, back in April when the season opener night. Kind of give us, was it April Fool's Day?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Give us how did it feel leading up to that week? I know it's a new season, cars ready, like you said, October to April. It's a long time to sit, get the repairs, adjustments, whatever you needed done, to jumping in the car April. How did it feel?
I mean, like I said, it was a long break between October to April. We went and tested back in March, the end of March. We went and tested the week before and had a fairly good test. It wasn't the best test that we absolutely needed, just because another car that was there blew up. So we spent a lot of the day just trying to get more laps in me around the track and everything. But it was also a constant battle of fighting Speedy Dry on the track, and it was in the groove, so we was constantly chasing it coming up out of two. But we was able to go back that Thursday before and had a fairly good test, and went back that Friday night, and we wound up qualifying 7th, I believe, and had a decent car through practice, and it was one of them long green flag run nights at Ace Speedway, and we just spent too much time riding, hoping for a caution, and ultimately it just led to a 5th place finish, which it also didn't help too. The car was good, but we had it a little too low, so we was bottoming out coming through 4, and that wasn't helping us too much. But you know what they say, you live and you learn, we move forward, and we went on to the next race, so that's just what we had to do.
Yeah, I got you written down according to race results. You qualified 7th, like you said, with a 1650. Is that good? Is that mediocre? I mean, I know 7th ain't the best, but out of your perception, were you okay with that?
For it to be my first ever time actually qualifying, because last year for the Cook race, we done group qualifying in our 2nd round of practice, so I didn't really get the full-fledged of having a solo green-white checker by myself. So that was the first one I ever done. So trying to figure that out, adapt, and just get used to that. And like everybody I know has always said, when you qualify at a speedway, you drive the car 10 times different. And that's something that I had to figure out. And it's going to take some more figuring out. You know, it wasn't the best thing I wanted to see, but you know, being 7th out of I think it was a 12-car field that night was fairly good for me. And like I said, it was just a long green flag run night, so we just wasn't able to do much with it. We was just trying to bide our time and catch the cautions, and we had one caution early and never really got nothing right there at the end like we was hoping, so we just had to ride it out and take the 5th.
Gotcha. Being that your first race of the new season, was there anything that stuck out to you memory-wise or stood out? Maybe I should have done better. Maybe we should have went with this superstition. Anything memory related?
Nothing off the top of my head. I mean, just wish, you know, looking back now, what happened then to what I know now, I wish we could have done a little bit different. But like I said, you got to live and you learn. So that's what we was doing on that one.
Gotcha. And if I recall right, it was pretty chilly that night.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a hot April night. It was definitely, I think I had jeans on and a hoodie, and I was still a little chilly.
Yeah, it was actually cool enough to where I was still in the car without my helmet blower on. So it was comfortable for my end, but I don't know about the fans' perspective, but it wasn't too warm inside the race car like it's been here recently.
So did that throw y'all for a loop, or did that make you change up your game plan as far as air pressures or track bar, anything like that? Or I know with the cooler temps, some people may change things. I didn't know if that affected you guys or not.
No, we pretty much went back with the same baseline that we started off with the Cook race last year, because it was right around the same temperature and everything. Just, you know, so we pretty much went with that, and that's pretty much where we went. The only thing I wish we'd done different was pick the car up off the ground a little bit more to eliminate that bottoming out. But like I said, just trying to get the most out of it, and sometimes you push the limit and get too much out of it, and you wind up on the track. So.
Gotcha. Well, I think that's a good recap of the race. Anything else you want to add in? Any sponsors you like to thank, or people in particular?
I mean, of course, you know, all the sponsors that help me and support me in this whole ordeal. We got First Nations Auto Sales and Service up in Burlington. They come on board with me this year and helped out a lot, so appreciate them. Cancun Mexican Restaurant in Burlington. They got the best Mexican food in Burlington, in my opinion. So
you got some good ACPs, so y'all check them out.
Yep, go check them out. And they wasn't on board they come on board the day of the first race, the old Sharky's Grill over in Burlington. And they're only open for breakfast and lunch, so that's the only kicker. So you got to go over there, either get your breakfast or lunch. But if you want a good breakfast or lunch,
that's the place to go.
That is, if you're not in there at lunchtime by 11:30, you're going to be standing waiting. So that's the main three. Of course, we got 87 Kennels on board, Buckshot Beagles, Corbett Ridge Grocery and Garage, Scott Wellington, PA, and then of course all the partners that help us out: Downforce Graphics Company, Clark's Automotive, Rayvon and Cam, Hedgecock Racing, and Sellers Racing. They help out a lot with us too.
Good deal. Well, I think that pretty much sums up episode 1. So we'll wait till the next race, and we'll be back after race number 2 of the 2022 race season, the A Speedway.